So we are here at Sherptek to do what? We are here at Sherptek to fix a problem that we have with our camper. And what is that problem, Gare?
Well, we kind of have some sag.
We definitely have
our
some.
sides are sagging.
The best thing about it is Sherptek has a solution. And while we're here, we're getting a sneak peek at some of the other projects that Ryan's working on. And perhaps the best part of it is to enjoy the Sherptek animals during our visit. So us host campers know of this perpetual sag that we have seen kind of in the middle of the slide. We think that's a host camper issue, but it really isn't. It really has to do with almost any truck camper that has slides on there. You're going to have that sag. And that sag has really caused us some problems on our truck, right?
Yes. So if you, like our truck has just got what we call flank sides, but even if you got toolboxes on yours, if you get your toolboxes too high, eventually that will cause an issue as well.
So we're talking about the concerns that flatbed owners might have if they have a system similar to Sherptek or even some of those others. So this may not be the perfect way to show you because we already have started on a seal kit, which we'll talk about later. But this sag that we're talking about is kind of right here. I don't know if you can see that without me hitting my head here. Is that whole area is kind of slowly sagging down.
What our problem was, and I can't show it to you really exactly yet, but what our problem is this gap here is a lot different than this gap down here. The camper's sagging. I'm getting a bunch of sag in here. So what we're going to do is we got a spacer platform that Sherptek has made for us so that we can get our camper up another 3/4 of an inch. And that'll give us enough room here.
You can actually see a little damage and it was messing with the seal here. So
I was sitting down on top of those seals and I tore the seal. And what I was afraid of is we go off-roading with this thing a lot. And what I'm afraid of is that sag is going to damage my bed because the camper is going to start to rock and it's going to hit that.
Ryan has come up with a solution in order to resolve that, and it has to do with adding a platform. And we're also going to be updating our seals on here to give it a little bit of an option. So if that continues to sag, we can compensate for it, which is really cool. We learned about this option at the Truck Camper Rally, so always great to be able to learn stuff there. So another recommendation for going to the Truck Camper Rally. So one of the first things that we installed when we got here is the riser for the truck camper. So that gives it a little bit of extra height so we don't have the truck camper hitting the top of the truck flank sides. It's a simple design, but still quite effective. And they added a piece of metal to each of the alignment brackets, so it kind of slides on like it did before.
Yep. One of the reasons we didn't go with a horse mat is because it gives too much. So what we want to do is try to keep the 3/4 of an inch, because as your camper's rocking, it's going to want to rock a little bit, but we don't want it to rock into the bed of the camper. So this gives us a little bit firmer feel.
In the next few days, this Ram 5500 is going to be changed from this beautiful truck into an even better truck with a Sherptek bed, with flank sides and all of the undercarriage storage. It's going to be amazing. We're going to hopefully be around to see that transformation. So we're here at Sherptek today, getting a little behind the scenes look of what kind of things does Sherptek make in-house versus getting it outside. So there is a lot going on here. So what is this bracket for?
These are frame brackets for a Gen 1 Tundra, the one that's in the shop there. First off, the press design.
This is actually kind of cool.
We can't fit one in the camper, sorry.
Well, yeah.
Wow, that happened really fast. So fast I didn't catch it. That's
Well,
so-
fortunately, he's got more, so.
Right. Holy cow.
Boom. Here with this guy.
Gary says this machine is called a press brake. I guess that sounds much cooler than a plate bender. Either way, having this can really help with iteration time on new designs like these brackets. You're not having to wait weeks in between each round of testing. I'm just glad Ryan invited us over to watch. Bending metal is actually quite mesmerizing. He looks like a butterfly.
Yep. Keep your fingers on it. Yeah, you get knocked in the tater with that one.
Kind of like the rake outside.
Yep. Chunk.
No crinkly hands. Gary and I decided to check out the rest of the shop while Ryan continued to work on those Tundra brackets.
So they do their own laser cutting. Some of the patterns and stuff like that. So they got their own laser table. So they can get precision cuts and do all sorts of stuff with that. It does the aluminum and the steel, so bearings. Hopefully we can catch maybe a hint of some of that this week. And then they router their own plastics and stuff like that with a CNC machine. So then they have a precision wood cutter as well. And they use this also for cutting the aluminum sheets. So it's similar to what you'd see at Home Depot and Lowe's, but this is a little bit more sophisticated than that. They have other different areas around for prepping and cutting. It's nice that he doesn't have to send anything out to do it. He can do it in-house. The biggest thing is timing, because if you're dependent on the job shop to ship this out, to do CNC work on plastic or to do bending or welding, you got to send it, and you're at the mercy of that other shop.
Let's get back to see how far Ryan got on those brackets.
Underbending a little bit. So that's part of the art too, because you have to sometimes tweak it based on grain direction and other factors.
That's kind of cool. Can't do this on your bed.
The challenge, like Gary mentioned, is the variability, the different types of vehicles, the different types of products that he has to make on a regular basis. There's not a way to constantly do the same thing. There's something new every day here. And now the brackets are ready and waiting for their first fit up tomorrow morning. And next on the docket at the Sherptek plant is to get our seals replaced on here. Now, I don't think we technically needed to, but the fact that we're rised, rosen? Because the camper's higher than it was before, we weren't quite sure whether the seals would accommodate, and really they will, but we thought since we're here, we might as well go ahead and get some new seals on the truck. And we're trying out the new Extreme Seal package, and I had no idea what that was, and we're going to share with you. And I know you love to hear from Gary and all of his truck and truck camper crap, but he is actually working on the seal kit right now, so he's a little busy, so you got me. Our truck camper was built in 2020, so the designs have definitely changed since then. Our seals were originally attached to the truck and not the camper. Ryan is installing all of the seals on the camper itself, and it makes it look a little cleaner. And since we're here at Sherptek, we've decided, you know what, let's go ahead and get some of those seals done.
Our Extreme Seal, which is laser cut, custom design around the camper. So a DIY one is we sell you just the seal and customer sources the material, or we sell the seal and the raw material that's the right leg length.
Okay.
And then the customer has to fit things up, and they have to do things like you fit it up and it's like, oh, I've got to cut around this bracket, and every camper is going to be different. It's like, oh, I need to cut around this light or this bracket or this vent or whatever might be there.
Right.
Sherptek has two different options. They have a custom built seal kit, which is actually what we're using. It has a rail system with adjustments there, especially helpful for campers like ours that are sagging. So we're going to be installing that, but as a DIY, since we're in the area, we're gonna give it a go. The other option, if you would like to do a DIY, you can save some money and order the Extreme Seal package. You'll get a lot of the same seals that Gary and I are using, but you can choose to put your own brackets in or have Sherptek give you some of those brackets that you'll have to kind of piecemeal in. The self-installation, as we found out, was not a small event. You would expect to spend at least 40 hours putting it in. It is a time-intensive thing. But it's always nice to have different cost options based upon what you need.
It does take a little bit of prep work to do this.
He's actually got me working. Can you believe it? This is ridiculous. No, it's actually not too bad. So on our 2018 Host camper, they had these LED strips that are all the way down here. That is what I'm having to do, is remove this. And it didn't really work anyway. So, yeah.
Accuses me of lying down on the job all the time. And look what she's doing now. Lying down on the job, taking a nap.
I'm a total slacker here.
She's just slacking away.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of trial and error. Everything's a little bit different when the way it interacts with each other. So,
But that's some heavy duty seal.
it's a cooler seal. Because Laura told me to say that.
It's more robust, man.
No,
it's thick.
It's just right that when you hit it, it just kind of curls over itself.
And it has some flexibility, so it can handle a larger area as well.
Yes.
That's why it's cool.
That's why it's cool. More cooler. It's a little firmer in the wind as well. Those were, the wind would push them in quite easily. So these are going to be a little bit more robust against the wind.
It always is good to have firm ones.
Yes, you got to have some firm ones.
So Gary has been working on this seal kit. Explain to us what that railing is.
So this railing here is permanent to the camper now. These little plates here, it allows me to come down or to go up based on where the seal is sitting on the camper, so that makes sure we got a good seal up against the flank sides. When the flank sides go up, it hits that portion of the seal, and what we want to do is adjust that as we need to.
That gives us some extra flexibility if we continue to see the sagging on that.
Yeah, so that if I'm sagging right here, I can just adjust it up a little bit further and keep moving along. Every 6 inches I can kind of maneuver this to make it work for what's happening here. So
Cool. Good morning.
Morning.
We're going to go check out those brackets that Ryan created yesterday and see how they're going to be fitting up on this Toyota that he's working on.
Morning.
Fitting up the first prototype Gen 1 Tundra bracket. Strangely enough, it'd be nearly impossible to happen on that side. No modification needed.
Wow.
What? For the first time?
Well, tried, yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
So you saw we bent this part,
Right, so
this piece, or this piece was part of it, but that piece they bent. And you can see here, this piece we bent yesterday.
Their frames taper in every direction. Taper coming back, they taper going out, the C channel tapers.
Huh.
Like every single piece of their designs taper in every direction.
So,
So is the pumpkin cover a soccer ball or is it a turtle? Let us know what you think. Is it a soccer ball or is it a turtle?
Yeah.
And we'll find out from your owner of the truck when Ryan talks to him. So
inquiring minds want to know.
But now it's time to let the shop do its thing and get this truck assembled.
I get doing. Oh, geez.
Just using the side mirrors to line up features on the camper.
It is so low.
Someone gets to help me load a plank while the other.
Yep. Garrett, you're up.
Here we go.
Line.
Yep.
Don't lift it. This is a QC checkpoint.
That's gonna look so nice.
Yeah.
Sure you get Ollie the shop cat.
We got all the
He's our master QC technician.
equality check all stuff.
Got What's going on, Ollie? Is everything okay? Oh. What else is going on? Huh?
We're meeting the Sherptek mascot. I like the white. What do you think? You're more partial to gray, aren't you? All right, we're gonna go check out the bed for the host camper. Gary said I had to come and look, so we're going.
Hey, I almost want a new camper now, just so I can put a new one on my bed.
No. No. Wow, it does look sweet.
I think our segment here at Sherptek is pretty well buttoned up now, so
We're going to be headed to our next destination, and boy, it's going to be another fix-it. But we're going to wait to let you know on the next
next round.
on the next video.
On the next Fix It Up with Gary.
Yep. And as always, leave every place you visit a little better.
And we'll see you on the next round.
Bye-bye. Howdy.
Hello.
I was editing the video and realized that we didn't even show you the actual seals after they were mostly done. So they're
Yeah,
mostly
mostly
done.
done.
I want Gary to show you that. So I'm going to hand it over to him.
So when I set these seals up, I set them up so they kind of grab in between here, and you can see how it is. It's got a bubble on top. So when the camper comes down, this will mash on top of that. And then this door, so we got an edge on here now. I got a little bit of touch up, but so far this seal seems to be pretty good. Nothing in here got wet, and it's been pouring down rain. We drove in the rain. I mean, it was raining
Solid 2 days.
or a solid 2 days, and you can see nothing's wet.
And I'm, of course, interrupting, but I do want to say that even our old seals, we never had water issues in here at all.
The only time we did was when I pressure washed, and I pressure washed the seals
directly into this, into the seal.
That was the only time.
That's
but
so that's operator error. Okay,
that was.
back to Gary.
And hey, one other thing too is what we do have, and we probably still have. We haven't had to try this yet because we haven't been in an area to do that. We get a lot of some dust in here.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I don't think you could stop dust anywhere you go.
It's a non-issue. We don't care.
The truck doors are sealed, and you still get dust in the truck. So,
Right.
So this seal is a little bit easier to see. This stays on the camper, but what I did was took the extreme seal and turned it around because this extreme seal wants to tip out. So I turned it around and went backwards with it. So when the camper lands down, now I've got a plate up here and the seal stays with the camper, and when it comes down, it squishes on top. So yeah, you'll see the aluminum plate here that we put in, and then this. So, and we had just, all it was is just took a guess on the plates and stuff like that and figured out what we need and didn't need. So